questions which my team had was on the Supreme Court's prison report of October 2024, which
Yes.
recommends using electronic tracking devices for under trial prisoners to be released on bail. What is your view on this?
Well, the prison report was the product. We have the Center for Research and Planning in the Supreme Court, which is manned by some amazing young people.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 20 young lawyers who I recruited, in the Center for Research and Planning from different parts of the country. Again, first generation lawyers, from Jammu and Kashmir to Lucknow to Tamil Nadu. They come from all over the country and work on these cutting edge ideas. So the report of the Center for Research and Planning is not necessarily the view of every one of the 34 judges of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
It's a report it's the think tank of the Supreme Court, and we put that report across. One of you've dealt with this issue, of course. You've asked me about the tracking of criminals under trials by the use of electronic technology. Another thing which the prison report has dealt with, which I myself dealt with in a judgment which we delivered a couple of weeks or maybe a month before I retired, was about caste-based discrimination in the prisons. 75 years after independence, what work an under trial or a convict does in a prison is in many prison manuals determined by the caste of that person.
Like the cooking is done by people of certain
castes. Then the sanitation work is done by. We said that has to end in prisons.
Yeah.
That can have no role to play in independent
Frankly,
India.
people didn't even know about it till this report came out.
Absolutely. And our attention was drawn by a news report in the electronic media, which was converted into a writ petition, and then it came up before us.
Yeah.
And this report has taken it to a different level by looking at the prison system across the spectrum. Now, on your question on the use of electronic tracking technology, there are two views on it, and therefore it requires, stakeholder consultation. One is that, by using these means of tracking, you can ensure that you don't have to fill up your prisons with petty criminals who shouldn't be there for small crimes. You can let them out and ensure that they are not absconding or they are available to face trial. At the same time, they are free, and our prison system is declogged, which is the need of the hour.
Yeah.
The other issue, which of course is raised, is about privacy. And how do you draw that balance between privacy and the need for declogging the prisons? Privacy, because if that kind of an individual is even with a partner, there would be an electronic record of who that person is, what that person is doing at a given point of time. So obviously, there's a need to balance.
But in this day and age, you can put a chip or something in a person, right? Doesn't have to be a tracking device as such.
Yeah, but even that chip would give you exact details of location, what that person is doing,
Yeah.
At what point of time. So in that sense, there are also privacy concerns which need to be balanced. What I'm saying is that this is obviously something which requires greater deliberation. We've put that in the public realm as a possible alternative to having more and more people being situated in prisons, and then place it for wider societal deliberation. I've just flagged the two countervailing viewpoints.
Okay.
And it requires something of a more candid deliberation, both within and outside the judiciary, including by the lawmakers.
Click here to watch the full episode.